Can you see me?
Yes, right there.
Mariachi music echoing throughout the decorated homes of cemeteries. Gorgeous flowers blossoming next to the precious candle lights. Good evening, my name is Landon Sloan, and I'm here today to inform you on the wonderful Mexican celebration, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead has been a significant celebration within Mexico since pre-Hispanic times. As seen by this prolonged and prominent holiday dating back more than 3,000 years ago, Mexicans welcome the dead through parties and traditional practices. Celebrated each year from October 31st to November 2nd, the living and the dead meet in order to emphasize the importance of death in the cycle of life through celebration instead of typical mourning. Now, where did this intricate holiday come from? Well, the earliest roots date back to the Aztec people in what is now central Mexico. As explained by History.com online by their team of researchers and writers, once the Spanish conquered the Aztec, their rituals and celebrations that honored the dead spread throughout churches, later evolving into the holiday we now know as Day of the Dead. Which leads me to my next question. What are the cultural traditional ways of celebrating? But wait, first, when is Day of the Dead actually celebrated? As provided by the Day of the Dead organization online, a website dedicated to celebrating all things related to the holiday, November 1st at midnight, referred to as Day of the Little Angels, starts off the holiday, where the spirits of all deceased children are believed to be reunited with their families for 24 hours. Then comes November 2nd at midnight. The celebrations shift to honor the lives of departed adults, nights filled with laughter and fun memories just like the night before, except ofrendas take on a more adult-like approach, with tequila and more placed upon them. Following that, the grand finale and public celebration of Day of the Dead arrives. People come together, faces painted, parades in the streets, and cemetery visits in order to decorate the grave sites with the traditional decorations. Now that leads me to my next question. How is Day of the Dead celebrated? Although it's commonly mistaken as a Mexican version of Halloween, that proves to be false by the substantiation provided by Mexiculture Online, an organization dedicated to celebrating Mexican culture, even though the two do share similarities. On the Day of the Dead, it's believed the border of the spirit realm and the real world cease to exist. During this brief time, the souls of the dead awaken and return to the living world to eat, drink, dance, and play music with their loved ones. The living, on the other hand, treat them like honored guests with celebrations, offerings, and their favorite food. Additionally, the holiday has many decorative ways of celebrations, like calaveras, ofrendas, and Mexican marigolds. First, calaveras. They take on many different forms, such as sugar candies, clay decorations, and most memorable, face paint. The skulls are often drawn with a smile as to laugh at death itself. Also, as stated by the National Geographic for Kids, skeletons are posed doing all sorts of wacky things, such as playing the guitar, taking a bath, or making tortillas. Second, marigolds. What are believed to be the pathways that guide the spirits to their ofrendas, the flowers' vibrant colors and scent attract the departed souls as they return to feast on their favorite food, symbolizing the beauty and fragility of life. Now onto the most meaningful tradition within the celebration, the ofrenda. It's what the whole celebration is about. It's a collection of offerings dedicated to the person being honored. As clarified by the Mexican Museum Online, these offerings have many components that vary from one culture to another, that mostly include yellow marigolds, candies, photos of deceased ones, tissue paper designs, as well as food and beverage offerings for the dead. Now what we are all wondering, can non-Mexicans celebrate Day of the Dead? A time where families get together to remember and celebrate their lost loved ones. It's a time to commemorate their lives and celebrate with many elements, activities, and traditions involved with this event. There is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to celebrate the Day of the Dead. In fact, most Mexicans enjoy the interest within their culture and getting to know their traditions. If you do choose to celebrate, however, make sure you understand the event and its traditional practices, while also having good intentions and not deliberately offending the culture. Understand the few traditional customs, what they mean, and how you can celebrate with knowledge and respect. take this opportunity to experience and view death through a different lens. Death, a seemingly depressing and sorrowful aspect of life, but it doesn't have to be. A day where typically Mexican families gather together to welcome back the souls who have passed for a reunion, involving food, drink, and celebration. Altars, decorations, and more reunite the dead and the living, preserving those who have passed alive in our memories, and serving as a reminder that death is a normal cycle of life and a beautiful aspect of that. I hope you take interest and inspiration from this part of Mexican culture, and maybe even celebrate it yourself in order to commemorate the lives of those lost and see death as a magnificent normal part of life. Thank you so much for listening.